Mr Speaker.
Ko meka whaiteri.
I te māngai te whare, tēnā koe. Mr Speaker, it is indeed an honour to contribute to the third reading of the Hurunui Kaikōura Earthquakes Emergency Relief Bill. As previous speakers have mentioned, the bill attempts to do three things: extend the emergency timeframes under the RMA, address the permitted activity status for emergency farming works, and of course restore the Kaikōura harbour. And sir, I support all previous speakers around the way in which committee members, particularly clearly the Minister with cross-party support, have addressed this particular bill, sir. And like our hard-working chair of our select committee, Scott Simpson, indicated, despite it being a truncated process, I do want to inform the members of the House and any of the public that's working that we did undertake, although truncated, a form of public scrutiny in the forms of submissions, sir. And we received about approximately 13. We had 4 from district councils: Marlborough District Council, Kaikōura District Council, Hurunui, ECAMS, Environmental Canterbury, Wellington City Council. We obviously had the Runanga of Ngaitahu. We had inshore fisheries. We also had rock lobster industry, the power industry. We had Kiwi Rail, Federated Farmers, Forestry and Bird, and Lawn Society, Mr Speaker. But my short contribution in ensuring the passage of this bill, sir, is actually a submitter who made a submission on behalf of the Kaikōura Guardians. Now, what's their name? Now, what have I done with that? Isn't this typical? You get up. Sorry, the Kaikōura Marine Guardians, sir, in particular Mr Ted Howard. And look, sir, I want to just acknowledge his submission because he was actually talking, sir, around the implementation stage. And he really wanted to ensure that the local community, as best as possible, was involved when this particular bill was enacted. And I just want to quote, because he had a short passage that I'd like to share with the House, and that he quoted, "We are dealing with complex systems and we have a great deal of local knowledge present in this community. We ask that at every stage of this process that all plans and the rationale for them are made fully publicly available rapidly, and that locals are given an opportunity." He's talking about a few hours, not more than a day delay at any stage, to comment on those plans, and that reasonable alternatives will be seriously considered. And so when we had Mr Howard on the phone, I could sense his absolute love for his community of Kaikōura and absolutely wants the best for that. And so do we, Mr Speaker. We want to ensure that in the passage of this bill, and when we get to that implementation stage, that we think about people like Mr Howard in terms of involving the local community. And so his message wasn't lost, particularly on this member of the Select Committee, around ensuring wherever possible that we involve the local communities, that we operate in a very open and transparent process. That is what Mr Howard wanted. It seems like a reasonable request as we see this passage go through the House, Mr Speaker. Can I just please end on adding my absolute word of thanks to the officials who supported the work of the committee, and given that the time was very constrained, so I want to acknowledge our hard-working officials that are sitting on the right side of you, Mr Speaker, and of course the work of our PCO, and obviously our Select Committee clerks for ensuring that we did justice in examining the bill that was presented to us in a timely manner. I too believe that we have come back to the House with a very, very robust piece of legislation that I'm proud to stand up and support. And like everybody else, I wish the people of Kaikōura, Hurunui, the very best. It is only the beginning, this enabling legislation. The real test is actually the implementation and the commitment to getting the communities of Hurunui and Kaikōura, sir, back on its feet as quickly as possible. I commend this bill to the House.